All right. We are back for yet again another episode of Tales of the Valiant and the Valiant Tribe. And we are on the tail end of just having saved Enoch. The Valiant Tribe here has saved Enoch and surprisingly had to deal with the, what was it, the Inagu?
Ochiag.
The Otiug, there we go. The Otiug, yes. Cannot remember that name. But yes, the Otiug had made a surprise visit to attack the group, splashing out of the waters here, and almost being a dual attack from Enoch and the Otiug. But thankfully, with some quick thinking and the restraints of the other members, you were able to, subdue Enoch for the moment, and then also slam one of the curative potions that you had created down into the gullet of Enoch, even though he may not have a mouth. I'm not exactly sure how they eat, but somehow you were able to splash him, and maybe he just kind of absorbed it into his mushroom body. I have a feeling that's
Better not question those things, especially when they work in your favor.
yeah, exactly. So, needless to say, after dealing with the gelatinous cube from the previous game and then making your way through here, you were easily able to help Enoch regain his senses, take care of the Odiug, and now you were left with this empty fungal mushroom place, the fungal garden here. Enoch had made a telepathic communication to his people, and they began quickly, pulling back all the stones that had blocked out the area, and you were warned that it was going to take some time to clear this out. Probably, let's see here. I'm gonna roll a d4 and see how long it took. So it's going to take about 4 hours for them to clear out on their own, unless.
Usually it takes 2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure that's going to take about 2 weeks. In the meantime, Wingnut is definitely and quickly putting together the water filtration system that Kailana had sent him here to help purify the waters and help get the Enoch and his people back to safety and getting the waters back to Hulgig cleared out. So with that in mind, Gorn, you were able to finally make your way through the area, having disappeared suddenly and caught back up with the group after hearing the quick battle that took less than 30 seconds to rectify itself, and you find yourself here on this fungal garden area as well, catching up with the group. While Enoch is helping to move some stuff, he calls out to you all and he says, "Yes, I thank you for curing me of this disease and sending Kailana's companion here to help clear out the waters. I've sent a message to have my people start clearing out the path here, and I've let them know to go and alert the town of Hulgig that you have successfully revived me of my senses, brought me back to my senses, and have begun clearing out the waters so that they can use the waters as well. I'm sure the town members of Hulgig will be pleased to hear this."
I suggest turning off that message until Wingnuts finishes its job, but alright, you do you.
So he says, we could probably clear this out a little quicker if anyone wants to help move from this side so we can meet my people. Otherwise, we will do our best to get through this as fast as possible. So what would you guys like to do?
I'll help as I can.
Okay.
You know what? I may have a thing for this, and I'm going to take an hour to make something.
Okay.
You know what's up?
Yep. So we'll go ahead and fast forward at least 1 hour. With Tarek's there, go ahead and give me an athletics
what's
check.
Gordon doing in that time?
True. Gorn, what are you up to for this first hour?
And they're just clearing rubble at this point, yeah?
Yeah.
Am I catching that right? Okay.
Terex and Enoch are helping from this side, while Enoch's people on the other side are helping to clear out the rubble to make it a quicker passage back to the mushroom town.
Really, I rolled a 2, so what I'm doing is I'm stacking rocks back up.
Yeah, I suppose I could try to help. Not exactly my forte, but...
All right, well, go ahead and give me a strength, an athletics check then to help move some rocks,
Or should I do it at advantage?
Why did I roll an advantage?
I don't know.
I just
I guess reroll.
told it to roll normal.
You got me. Well, let's see here. What do we have for the dice? We have a 12 and a 9, so they're not all that too far off. We either have a 10 or a 13. I usually keep the first die anyways in case of these kinds of accidents, so we'll take the 12, and you end up with a 13 for your skills check, which is going to certainly help move the process along a little ways. So about an hour goes by, and due to the help of Gorn and Terex, maybe you're still reeling from the battle you had with the Odiug, or even though you've already had a night's rest, something about being down here and maybe the smells of the fungal garden here mixed with all the compost that's going on, it probably gave you a little bit of a little seasickness, so to say, a little indigestion that you were dealing with. But we do pass forward through an hour, and you can start to hear that maybe the time is moving faster here. And with that, I guess, Zix, you were creating your buddy there, huh?
Yeah, I found something useful inside of bag of holding, it seems.
Yes, and as Terex and Gorn, you both turn around to look, Zix has quickly constructed a mechanical ally, it seems.
I'm gonna... The mechanical ally is a medium creature, and I, as a small kobold, can hop on its back, and then I guess it will just be there. And then I'm just gonna ride it into battle, so I guess the rock, and make sure it removes the rock. So I guess I'm gonna use my mechanical ally to just pick up the rocks in its jaw and place them in the safe place.
Okay, go ahead and give me a athletics check for anyone for this next hour that's trying to help speed this process along.
And I'm gonna use my athletics check from the ally.
All right, Terex with an 11. And we have a 15 and 17 die rolls from the mechanical ally, resulting in a 19, and Gorn with an 18. And along with Enoch and his people clearing out from the other side, you do eventually start to hear the sounds of boulders and stones being moved, and not necessarily grunts of anything, but the smaller pebbles and stones clearing away, and then eventually a rush of fresher air. Not necessarily too fresh, but fresher air does come in from this upper level as the pathway has been opened, and within this next hour's time and whatnot, you have been able to clear a path back to the town here. So what I will do is bring us back there in just a minute as I figure out which map level we're supposed to be on. Yes, there we go. Okay.
I think it's 2 levels area because the garbage dump was its own level.
And with that, Enoch moves back into the town here of Belgrove and embraces Rele, who is delighted to see that Enoch has returned. Now, obviously, there's no sounds or talk between the two of them, so you're more than likely sure they are speaking to each other telepathically. And Enoch turns and says, and turns to the three of you and says, "Thank you so much for helping us. Some of my people have returned from Hulgig and have let them know that the water will be restored soon enough. We will wait for Wingnut's note and news of when it is complete and has begun, taking care of the water so that it can be used and we can use it as well again to help restore the fungal garden, and the people of Hulgig will have fresh water to drink from again. We appreciate your help here. Is there anything else we can do to help you with this? Or is there anything else you need from us before you make your way back to the surface?"
You seen that woman that Zix is looking for?
I assume you are speaking of Kailana, Wingnut's companion?
Yes.
No, as far as I'm aware, and he stops speaking to you for a moment and basically kind of turns and looks at Rele, and Rele looks back at Enoch and There's a moment of exchange between the two of them that you can't hear, and then Enoch says, "No, we have not seen Kailana in some time. She generally doesn't stop by and usually sends Wingnut in her stead to exchange and do business with us. It's very rare that we see her. If anything, you'll probably see her before we do."
Okay then.
Anyone else need anything from Belgrove, or did you want to do something else? What are you guys up to? Because now Enoch is just kind of getting back into the swing of things, and he says, "If there's nothing further, please excuse me while I attend to my people and restore relations with Hulgig and sort things out and ensure that our town is safe to expand back outwards."
guess
I
that's
can't think of anything else.
All right. Well then, if there's nothing else, we'll send you guys back up to Hulgig then, huh?
I just wanted to say something to the party along the way.
Wait, before we go, I'll ask Enoch, are we going to have to deal with the twilight fungus anymore?
There may still be some remnants of these skull blooms running about. It is unclear if they are here or not, but be on your guard. If you've cleared out everything within here, there may be more outside in the forested areas beyond the mountains here. Beyond that, you should be safe to traverse at least back out to the path that leads to Hulgig.
All right, well, I guess it's best we be off then. Thank you for everything, Enoch.
It is my pleasure, and you are always welcome here at Belgrove if you need to stop by here for any reason whatsoever. We are in your debt. All right, and with that, you can easily head on out, and we will send you back to the cave entrance. If everyone is good.
Yeah, I'd rather not say something I had in mind to right in front of them. I guess the entrance.
Okay.
No? Why wouldn't just these rooms just make the town pay them to get the water?
You're talking about Belgrove, like
Yeah.
imposing some kind of a water tax?
Yeah, it's basically saying Belgrove should have taxed the water.
Yeah.
I mean, they have access to it. Not those humans living above.
Okay. Well, you spend some time leaving Belgrove, and just as you had hoped, the traveling back to the surface is uninterrupted. You make your way back into the main area of Belgrove that was largely evacuated from the swarms of skull blooms that were swarming around with the pit that dropped down to the lower level. You make it past and through the alleyways or not necessarily the alleyways, but the cave tunnels where you had met the one human fellow that was trapped in the cage, and then the swinging trap that had the skull blooms attached to it. And eventually you make it back out to the entrance here where you have the barrel of torches and the rats that you had seen that were feasting on the corpse of one of these skull blooms. Luckily, by this time, there are no rats. You've either killed whatever rats were there, or they've already scattered at the sound of your approach. And you find your way back out to the entrance here that leads to Hulgig. Good enough. I don't have any kind of I forgot to load up any kind of a outdoor ambient noise.
That's right.
In any event,
It's all good.
as you make your way back to Hulgig, you come out of the mountains and notice that it is very late at night. When you guys had rested, it was probably somewhere around mid-afternoon, and walking outside, you are surprised to see the moon out and about, probably close to what you would consider high noon, right above you, casting down a bright moonlight night here. As you're making your way through the
Oh, hold on, that ain't Minecraft. That's not how it works.
as you make your way along the path heading back to Hulgig, why don't you all roll me a perception check, please? Now, this is going to be at disadvantage because you are trying to maybe spot things that are beyond your dark vision.
Oh, that's
So you said
Do we
perception
have
disadvantage?
a
Yes.
moment.
Sure, Zix.
Yeah, I would have asked the cavalry if they had a moment, and then used the phosphorus augment on my rapier and just made it glow. So we would have some kind of torch, and only me, Terex, and Gordon would have seen the light from it.
Yeah, I mean, you could have done that if you wanted to. How long does...
Yeah.
Was it like something quick, or...
I mean, it's an augment, so it would probably take another hour.
Alright, well, I'm sure you could have done that, because, like, your mechanical ally was helping with the digging. So,
Yeah.
you could have done that for sure. So you're like a blue... What kind of color glow are we talking?
Let's go Sif. Let's make it red.
Red? Okay.
Yeah. It emits 20 feet of bright light and another 20 feet of dim light.
So 40 feet dim.
When you
20
first activate the item, you can choose whether to light shines normally or whether can only be seen by a number of creatures of your choice within 30 feet of you. So, yeah, I'm gonna make sure that my ally, me, Terex, and Gorn see the light, and only we can see the light. So, if we don't have that much of a disadvantage anymore.
Okay. Well, you wouldn't have disadvantage anyways within your dark vision, but because of where the potential target is that I might be having you look for, this is well beyond your dark vision. Even Gorn's warlock dark vision of 120 feet. That's why I'm having you all roll at disadvantage for this.
I guess.
Okay, got Terex and Gorn with a 15.
I guess so. This guy rolls.
And a 6 with a 6. And then the mechanical ally has a 7. Okay, so on your way back, probably because of Gorn's warlocky ways and Terex's heightened thoughts of being a ranger and always being on the lookout for prey and such, you get about halfway between the mountain entrance and the town of Hulgig when Gorn and Terex, you both notice out in the distance the faintest hint and glow of a torchlight as it fades away into the woods north of Hulgig. And you kind of make out a couple shadows that dart into the forest, seemingly away from the town of Hulgig. Any thoughts on
Gonna lead into Terex. What do you make of that?
Saboteurs or people fleeing the town late at night? I'm not sure. We should check this to make sure that the skull blooms aren't attacking again.
What are you guys thinking about?
There was torchlight moving away from the town.
Yeah, now that
And-
you've taken a moment to relay this information to Zix, you can see that the torchlight is gone, seemingly into the woods possibly, or snuffed out. For whatever reason, the torchlight is now officially gone.
And why should we care? We did our job. Let's go. Let's just go back and claim the job's done. After we can get
Sounds good.
the gold.
So what's the idea?
We're going back to town.
Okay.
I don't wanna say anything for the group, but it just seems like I'm the one doing all the talking to you and group affirmation.
This is curious. What happened here? I'm gonna need a couple seconds here, guys. Something happened to my map for the town of Hulgig. Something happened, and it's got the map from the fungal garden instead of the Hulgig town, which is... It shouldn't be doing that. I don't know why that happened.
Are you sure you
Goldblum's
didn't
really took over the-
accidentally layer it on top of it?
Yeah, right? I don't know. What you're gonna say there, Cyrus?
I was going to say the skull blooms took over.
Bad ending.
Womp womp. You guys make your way back into Hulgig and make another perception check for me. again, you'll have disadvantage on it just because it's dark. And you know what? No, we'll cancel out the disadvantage because there are the street lights that are currently flickering and going on. So you can roll at advantage or regular, not advantage, just regular. So as you guys are walking back into town, you happen to notice out in the distance, you can see Merwick and his dog there, Shelby. And they seem to be searching around for something. Not necessarily panicked, but very confused. And they keep kind of moving around to each of the buildings and peeking into the doorways and into the shops and whatnot, searching around a little bit. What do you do, gentlemen?
I'll approach Merwick.
This Zix is slowly approaching.
Yeah.
Just as you approach Merwick, he's looking around kind of a little aimlessly at the moment. Doesn't exactly hear you coming up as he and Shelby move. And Shelby kind of hears you first before Merwick does, probably because, with a passive insight, he's seemingly distracted, but for some reason. Go ahead, Zix.
Also, the giant dragon. Well, not so giant, but...
So as that happens, Shelby comes running up and starts to sniff at the three of you and doing, typical dog things. And Merwick notices that Shelby's run off, and he goes, Oh, you're back. This is perfect timing. I was told by the other Myconids that everything's good down there and that you've potentially got the water situation handled. Is everything good? Everything's cleared out?
I wouldn't drink the water just yet, but...
Oh yes, I assume it's going to take some time before the water is safe to drink again, but I'm super grateful to hear that the three of you, and it seems you're missing a couple of your companions, but it's great to see that that's been taken care of. Are your companions okay?
We don't know what they want.
Yeah. Well, as long as
They
they're
have minds of their own, they just wander off.
well, that's good. We'll keep an eye out for them just in case they turn up a little ways down the road. But I'm concerned. I was taking a head count, and I seemingly have lost a couple of my townspeople here, my townsmembers. At least one of them, Daffod, who was staying in the longhouse, has seemingly disappeared. And I'm just searching around because I'm concerned. I'm not sure if the town is still safe, even with your success down in the caves.
We did see people fleeing into the woods on our way here.
Fleeing into the woods? Why would they do that? That's not safe at all.
I'll point in the direction that we saw the torchlight going.
Oh boy, that's not good. I hope they're not heading
Are
out.
there dangers in these woods?
Yes, there's dangers in any woods that you traverse. I don't know why they would be going out there. There is an abandoned hut out there. I don't know why they would be going that way. I'm just concerned because each town member here is vital for the safety and existence of this town. Would you three, I don't know if you're capable of doing it now, but would you mind checking on them and seeing why they may have gone up that way? I'm concerned that...
I would be willing.
I appreciate
And
it.
we can check, but I don't know if we will be able to do anything.
All right. Is everyone hurt? Do you need any kind of healing or aid before you venture off?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
Was attacked by a giant, I don't know, rock thing. Don't recall his name though.
All right. And, Merrick starts to investigate the three of you, and he looks at Zix, who apparently is looking the worse for wear here. Let me just make sure I got you targeted real quick. No, I want 6. Okay, good, I got you. All right, so he sees that you're a little worse for wear, comes over to you and starts to mutter and cast a spell on you. And you get healed for 8 points of damage. And he comes over to you, Gorn, as well, and sees that you're not doing so hot. And he's like, would you like some healing?
It would be appreciated.
All right. Ooh, not much for you, but you get an additional 5 hit points back.
I'm curious, would we allow to use luck points to add or reroll that?
Using what now?
I think you gave that healing to Zix instead of Gorn.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't.
just laughing
we
at the possibility of using luck points on healing.
Which points are
But
those?
I
again?
guess that wouldn't be possible.
No, unless you want to take like an hour or something to do some
Oh.
extra healing for hit dice and
Nah,
whatnot.
I don't need.
Okay.
Do you think you could give us directions to this abandoned hut?
Yes, it's pretty much due north of here. There are some marked trees that we use. The hut has been abandoned for so long that the path is unkempt, but if you keep an eye out for special white markings on the trees, like a square patch of paint, it'll keep you in the right direction to get you to this hut. Maybe that's where Daffyd has run off to. I don't know if there's anyone else that has moved along. The shopkeep here of Lots of Lots was reporting that the one person that was staying with him had also seemingly disappeared at some point, so I'm concerned about their safety if they've left for the woods for some reason. That's primarily where we've seen a lot of the skull blooms coming from. But then again, there's also all sorts of other dangers as well. I would offer up any more assistance. I could potentially cast some more spells. I have the bark skin spell, if anyone would like maybe a buff to their AC.
What's AC?
Yes, this magical term called armor class. I could help you with your defenses. Basically, if anyone. Does anyone have an AC below 16?
Nope. Well,
Negative.
Nope.
All right. Well then, I think I have helped you as much as I can. There's not much else I can do for you as it stands.
I guess we better be off.
I appreciate it, and please don't take too much time. Like I said, the woods are dangerous, but I appreciate the help, and we will do what we can once the town has, mended its wounds from this strange outburst and disease. I'll continue to look here. Maybe I was, maybe I misspotted them or whatnot, but I'll continue to search here in the town for anyone else that might have hidden in one of the houses while you all venture north into the woods. I appreciate it. And he gives you like a quick gesture of thanks and begins to move on. Shelby sniffs you guys all a bit more, kind of walks around you, and then heads off as Merwick gives a quick whistle, and Shelby starts to follow along with him.
So which way is north?
Well, north would be...
aesthetics. This is aesthetics.
Oh, okay.
Because he's the ranger, he's a hunter.
Yes, Terex, would you like to make a survival check, or... What is your passive survival?
Sorry, I was trying to set macro.
No worries.
Just give me a second, I'll give you a survival check. Passive is 15, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, easily. Yeah, perfect. You hit your passive anyways. With your passive, up on the map, like cardinal north is north on the map, so you would head up that way to make your way to the woods, and then through the woods with help from Merwick's directions.
We're going north, I guess. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a building here.
Go around. There you go. Okay, so you guys make your way to the edge of town and start to make your way out of town through a small bit of an open fields and then to the edge of the forest. And the forest itself is quite dark and foreboding. It is spooky, to say the least, and you enter in. What is the marching order, just for the sake of on the map here, while I'm looking at it? Who's leading the way?
Before we determine marching order, I need to know, are there spiders here?
There might be. I don't know. It is a
I'll
forest.
go first.
All right, so we got...
Welcome to the Cloakwood, Mike.
Right?
Everybody dies.
Mm.
We better not be in that one forest that resets you back to the static chamber once you make a wrong turn.
Hopefully something like that. All right, so you
I
guys,
said let's hope not!
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully not. All right, so you guys
We
make
kept giving the DM ideas.
yeah, you guys know that's dangerous. Yes. Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are at the edge of the woods. You make your way into this dark, fairly dense forest that doesn't give much in the ways of moonlight from being cast down from overhead, and make your way in. Terex, you're leading the way, since Merwick let you know about the markers on the trees. Go ahead and make a survival check at normal check roll, because the forest itself is kind of dark. Not much in the ways of moonlight.
Oh, I almost thought that was a natural one.
I already had my one for the session. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a total of 24 on your survival check, you make it in no time to what appears to be a small clearing in the forest area. And as you approach, you're on the right way, as you start to see the bit of a gleaming and glowing of what appears to be a fire or a camp light. So let me move us all over to there. And let me see here. Before you get to the forest, is there anything you wanted to prepare, or before you get to this edge of the forest here? As in, you said these lights that you have glowing here, Zix, those are just...
Yeah, only we can see them.
Okay, so no one else can see those lights. All right, just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, but they can hear me in medium armor.
Right. So, as you make your way through here, it takes probably a good half hour or so before you are able to finally get your way to this clearing here. And you can see out in the distance the glint and glowing of a campfire out in the distance, with what appears to be a few shadows around this campfire here. What would you like to do?
I'm going to attempt to stealth to get closer.
All right.
I guess we stealthing, boys.
Sticking to the shadows, you guys can go ahead and give me some stealth checks, please.
And we don't
Yes, I roll
see
for
anything.
both myself and my ally.
We don't see anything out by the fire itself.
You see some silhouetted figures standing around the fire at the moment.
I don't think the ally has dedicating the stealth button. So I guess just D20 plus 2.
Yeah, for the ally, just go ahead and roll the main stat.
Sorry, plus 1, not plus 2.
Okay. So since this is basically a group check here, let me double check some things real fast.
I'm surprisingly stealthy.
Clang, 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 clang.
I mean, I rolled a 17 and my companion rolled a 16.
Yeah, with that, since we're doing a bit of a group check here, you all are able to move on the edges of the forest nice and stealthily. Go ahead and place yourselves on the edges of the map wherever you'd like to go. You can probably get up within, I'd say right around here before you're within the firelight of the campfire, sticking to the edges of the forest here.
Guess I'm gonna be here.
As you get closer, you can see a ramshackle of a hut in the background here, which seems to be probably a one-room building, thatch roof, and a variety of different types of, reeds and wood and sticks to create the walls and the windows of this hut here. The area itself seems to have been abandoned at some point long ago. Whether or not it was used for good or nefarious reasons is yet to be determined. The woods itself around the area seem to have died and withered from whatever cause has, been inflicted here, be it recent or in the past, the trees seemingly are dead within the area of this hut itself. You have clouds overhead and somewhat of a fog that has rolled in with how late at night it is. And as you move closer to this hut here, you can see several figures standing around the campfire. Two of them have their backs to you, and they move in quicker. Why don't you all give me perception checks to let me, to see what you can hear from the figures standing around the campfire.
I guess I wouldn't make this check for my ally this time.
Nope. Okay.
Damn it!
Gorn rolls an 8, Zix with a 6, but Terex rolls a 19. Unfortunately, between the two of you, you're unable to hear the mumbles of what is being said. But Terex, thanks to his ranger abilities and the hunter that he is, you pick up on a bit of a conversation from these individuals here that are around, still silhouetted a little bit. You can start to make out some of the pictures, and it starts to become a little more clear as they start to speak. But you hear the two that are closest to you speaking to the one that is standing right in front. There's one standing right about here at the moment, in front of the hut's stairway up into the doors and whatnot. And one to the left of the fire says, "I don't know what they did, but they cleared out the disease. The disease for our master has been expunged from the waters, and they'll be healing themselves soon enough." And another one that's standing off to the side here, cloaked in long robes and what have you, goes, "Yes, Eris, we have no idea how this could have been. We tried to stop them as much as possible, but the skull blooms had no effect. They couldn't stop them, and even deep inside, there was still no way for them to be stopped. What should we do, Eris?" And Eris, standing in the back with her hood drawn, takes a moment of contemplation, and you can see that there's two more. So roughly a total of 5 members here are standing around this campfire, and the one to the left of the campfire, to Eris's right, he kind of grunts and turns quickly, and he goes with a very gruff voice. He goes, "This is not good. We shouldn't be at a disadvantage here. We've spent weeks and months planning this." And then the one across from him, this gruff voice one, smaller in stature, turns to Eris as well and says, "Yes, I've put myself in grave danger here trying to help you along with this process, and even betraying my people so much. I cannot fail here now, otherwise I'll have nowhere to go. We must get this town controlled for our master." And with that, you hear Eris speaking. "It is fine. We will deal with these interlopers just as we have dealt with all the other ones. We will take back this village, let them come and go. They may have stopped us now, but we will be able to send the poisons and the disease back into the waters once again, once we have rid the town of these so-called heroes." Real briefly here, let me just grab the book for a second here. Yes. And you hear her say, "Our Lord Korgoth will be extremely pleased with our work. We just have to get rid of these foolish heroes, and then we will be rewarded for our time and our efforts here." So, as you listen to this, you can see that this group finally withdraws their hoods, and you can see 2 people that look very familiar to you, at least the one anyways. The one on the far side you recognize as Daffyd, who Merwick was looking for. And some of you, especially Gorn, you notice the other one to the right as Jurek. Jurek, you remember seeing him kind of keeping to himself, seemingly watching and waiting in the lots of lots. The other 2, you're not too sure who these are, but one appears to be an orc, and another appears to be a kobold. And then on top of that, you have this female with long dreads standing in the back here. Let me see if I can get her picture for you all. This is who you see. This is Eris. who is standing around the campfire here, along with an orc and a kobold, and these 2 other humans here.
Yep, definitely a circular smile.
Mm-hmm. And Eris says, well, it looks like we may have to take out Merwick as well. Daffyd, Jurek, I need you to go back into town and advance our plot and our plans faster now. Make sure you go and take care of Merwick and his little dog, too. And they're just continuing to speak about their plans for Hulgig and to advance and continue poisoning the area. What would you all like to do while they continue speaking about this?
I can't hear shit,
Aim a
so I
shot.
don't know.
What was that?
I'm gonna aim a shot.
Okay.
Do we see that Derek is aiming a shot?
Okay, so
I'm
you're
gonna fire at Eris.
All right. So we are going into combat
Okay.
then. So with that, because they are somewhat aware that you are all here, I'm going to give them all a perception check just to see if they've spotted you or not. As Daffyd and Jurek come running in, they're kind of on high alert at this moment.
Well, as I was saying,
Yeah. Okay. So that was Jurek. The other one was Daffyd. So Jurek hears the pull of your bow and suddenly becomes alert. And then we have, let's see here. Okay, he's unaware. The kobold's unaware. The orc is alerted to your bowstring pull. And then finally, Eris as well. So we're going to go into a bit of a surprise round here. So the kobold and Daffyd are unaware of your attack as they've become alerted and are high alert here. So let's go ahead and throw everyone into combat, and I'll get some battle music going here.
I'm on the list twice.
Oh, weird. Okay.
why are you on the list twice? Apparently the 22 is first, so guess get rid of 18.
Okay. And with that, we have, let's see here. For our initiatives, we have Terex with a 22, Zix with an 11, Gorn with a 15, and then Jurek rolled a 10, Daffyd with a 5, our Orc with a 19, the Kobold with a 19, and Eris with a 3. And we will begin round 1 with a surprise round with our Kobold and Daffyd being surprised.
All right, so I'm gonna fire my bow.
Okay. That appears to be a. It looks
Hang
like.
on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Push your luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my luck points.
All
I'm
right.
gonna use all 3 of them.
Oh, so are you adding 3 or re-rolling?
I'm adding 3.
Okay. So adding that 3 will bring that up to a 16, and that will hit. All right, let's go ahead and roll damage.
Nice.
All right. Oof. 12 of 12 points of damage.
And Mystic Mark.
Wait a minute, that's not right for hit points. Hold on a minute.
That's not the commoner.
Yeah, that's not right. How did that not work out correctly? Okay. Let me do a little reverb.
Damage button isn't working.
That's better. Okay.
The damage button isn't working for Mystic Mark, by the way.
Oh, it's not?
Just roll a
Nope, just figured
d4.
I'd let you know.
Okay, that's fine. I don't know. We're going to be off of this system pretty soon anyway, so.
I was gonna say it's not like Mystic Mark. I can just roll an extra D4 anyway.
Yeah. So there's that, and then an extra -2. So that hit with the fortunes of your previous failures. You have you're able to guide the arrow directly and hit Eris in a very delicate and sensitive part there, and she's just like, we're being attacked! Attack! And with that, anything else for your turn, Terex? Are you going to stay where you're at or move?
I'm staying where I'm at. It's dark here, so they can't really see me all that well.
Okay. And actually, because you were hidden, give me another D20 roll for advantage on the attack, because you were stealthed.
Crit confirmed.
Okay. All right. So up next would be the Kobold. He is currently surprised, so he will get no round, no turn here, and we move on to the Orc. So let's see here. Double check the Orc. So he quickly turns and sees where the arrow had come from, and goes charging out with a bonus action. So bonus action would get me to there. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then for regular movement, rushes in and goes in for the attack on you, Terex, since you are currently visible, and swings with his great axe. And that is a critical failure. Wow.
Don't see those happen from you all that often.
I know
That's
that's
so certain doom.
I sure am thankful for that.
Hey, Gorn, you're up.
True.
And I'm on deck.
Yep.
Yeah. So I want to do something a little different here. I would like to Eldritch Blast the campfire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have the... Oh. Add the torch to my character. Because of the sword.
Oh, the glowing. Yeah, I forgot about that. Where?
I think they are gonna see is the red sword flying through the air.
Oh, you need it to glow? Or...
Well, I'm just laughing because what's it gonna like from their point of view?
Hmm.
A red sword that's just a red blade that's just flying
Yeah.
in the darkness.
Okay. Gorn, go ahead and make an attack. Just give me like your standard attack roll, since we don't have any way to really target. I don't know if you'll be able to target anything here. 12 with an 18. Yeah, that'll certainly hit the fire. The campfire there. Go ahead and give me some damage, just to see how much this disrupts it.
Isn't campfire prone? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. That's a good question. So yeah, with that 6, that I think is more than enough to disrupt the fires, and we'll say that it gets smaller. It doesn't go out completely, but it has been reduced in size. So it goes from being 40 and 20 to 20 and 10. As sparks and embers go flying out into the area. You've certainly reduced the size. Anything else from
Man.
Gorn?
Oh, I just moved off to the side, so that way they're not tracing back where the beam came from, and yeah, that's my turn.
All right. What did you have to say there, Terex?
No, I was saying that was a good plan.
Okay. Zix, you are up with the rest of the cultists on deck.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take a guess and say my crossbow is gonna put out that fire. So I'm just gonna... I have a question actually.
Sure.
Is that orc near a tree?
Is the orc near a tree? Not necessarily. Terex had himself kind of out of the higher of any trees potentially, so
Okay.
if anything, he might be under some branches, but that's about it.
Would I be able to use my last vial of acid as a splash attack?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, so I'm as a bonus action, I'm gonna load up my vial of acid next into the head of my mechanical companion, combining it with the mounted crossbow that is right now inside of its head.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to aim this shot at the tallest person before the campfire, so it's so as it possibly splashes on her allies, and on the campfire.
Okay. Now,
This
because
and
of
then-
the people standing in front of her, she's going to get a little bit of cover from the attack from you.
I have to use this the old-fashioned way. because I do not think I can control, so that's basic attack. Is it normal? Is it advantage because she still hasn't moved?
Yeah, we'll give you advantage because you haven't attacked yet. I mean, they heard the bowstring, so that's what alerted them, but you're still hidden at the moment. Ooh, a 19 base. Total of 22.
Yeah, so that hits.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
Damage is a d6 plus 4 plus the acid vial, which is, I guess, 1d4 of acid.
Yeah, we'll say a d4.
I'm gonna roll separately. So 9 points of piercing damage and 2 points of acid damage.
Okay. So she gets hit for 11 points of damage. She's certainly not... it certainly didn't kill her, and it didn't quite have the effect you were hoping for, but it does hit and
I was
singe her.
going mainly for the acid splashing over her allies more
Oh,
than the
okay.
campfire.
Yeah, with the low amount of damage, I mean, it would hit the campfire, but it doesn't really do much to the campfire, and we'll give, like, the kobold next to her a point of damage from the acid splashing out.
I guess because it was somewhat of a liquid, it would work better, I guess. And then I'm gonna try to rock up next to the guy that attacked Derek, so I'm here.
Okay. So you go into a flanking position.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So that's it for Zix's
Gave
turn.
me the all two-face treatment. Pile of acid in the face.
Yeah. Up next is who you guys remember as Jurek, and because of the, him being a human and the campfire kind of going out, he reaches into his pack and pulls out a torch and then lights it on the remaining light of the fire. And he now has a torchlight that he can see with. Yeah. So he goes in, lights a torch, and starts to move out a little bit, very, very slowly, seeing and pointing out the two of you. That's his whole turn, because he had to interact and get the torch going so he could see what's up. So that's his. Up next is David, who is spent the turn surprised, so he does nothing. And then lastly, we have Eris, who is going to do what? What can she do? Okay, now being able to see who's targeted and who, who's hit her, she's going to cast a spell on, let's see here. It's going to cast a spell on Terex, since you were the one that did a pretty good amount of damage and surprised her with the attack. And that is 60 feet, should be able to reach. Okay, Terex, I need you to make a save, please. Should be in the chat window there. Oof. Fortunately, that is a fail. And you have been held as Eris conjures up some spells and calls out to help. She's like, Kargith, please come and aid me in my time of need. And you suddenly get like the smells of pestilence and disease writhing around you as you're suddenly locked into place and can't do anything while you are currently paralyzed.
Well, you just lost a turn.
At the end of your turn, you may redo the save, which at the end, since we are now ending, this Eris is going to kind of move in a way to use the kobold as like a bit of a body block from any other potential attacks. And,
Speaking of end of your turn.
Yeah, ends the turn here. Terex, unfortunately, you are being held. I need you to make another wisdom save. Okay, so first of all, I need you to give yourself +1 luck point for failing the wisdom saving throw. And then 2, you break. It looks like you break the bonds of the hold person spell.
Why did you have done it sooner?
And that's my turn.
Yes, that
Yep.
is.
But hey, at least if the orc attacks you, he doesn't have advantage and a guaranteed crit if he hits you.
Right.
Okay, so concentration has been broken because you removed the hold person spell on you, and that is your turn. Up next is the kobold. And let me see here, what is he going to do?
That's not someone we recognize, is it?
You haven't taken a moment to really see who this person is. So at this time, you could if you wanted to, but you're gonna have he's gonna move up a little bit, and then go in and attack you from range. And because you are next to an ally of his, he gets advantage on the attack.
Yeah, they didn't get rid of pack tactics.
Oh dear, that's a
Oh,
natural
damn.
20.
Yeah. They get some luck points for this.
Not at the moment, no.
I can use a reaction. Redirect attack.
Oh, true. Yes, you can do that with your ally.
Yeah.
So you're going to take, let's see here, 5 points of damage as a whole bunch of random parts get flung from this sling of his, and your companion's going
Forgot to add the extra D4 for the crit.
Oh, I did. Yes, yes. Thank you.
Well, my companion right now
An extra point of damage.
should have 24 health, so
Oh yeah.
he
So let's fix
takes.
that.
So he has because he has 6 plus 6 times my mechanist level.
Yep. Okay, that's been updated, and we will remove 6 hit points as your companion takes that, and you hear this
Flanking.
the clanking noises as a whole bunch of random parts get flung out, and this goes, "I know you! Oh, Zix, you are such an upstart!" And he comes rushing back to the
I know
campfire.
you!
He doesn't say anything about his identity.
I know him!
Give me a perception check at the moment. With
Okay.
everything that's going on, you know you're trying to keep your attention.
Normal perception.
Yeah. What do you got for passive perception?
For passive perception, I have 14.
Okay, 14. With the 16 that you just rolled, you do recognize this kobold. This is someone from your clan, from your cave systems and whatnot. You don't see this one all too often, but you think back to your interactions here, and even Terex would remember seeing this one. His name is E015, and always seemingly had this like stink eye for Zix. For some reason, there was some kind of like internal conflict with E015 and Terex with Zix. That Zix, you probably don't even know that you had this bit of a weird competition going on with you against this guy.
I'm just gonna say, what the fuck are you? Not really because I don't recognize him, but because I just wanna rub salt in the wound, apparently.
Yeah. Okay, so that's E015's turn. Up next, we have the orc, who is going to go ahead and attack you, Terex. Once again with the great axe.
Mon, roll a 1.
It happened once, it can happen again!
Close. That's a 3 for a total of 8, which
I don't know,
definitely
guys. I'm
misses.
getting a little worried. He's getting bigger numbers.
They're getting there. At least we're not attacking Valeric. Wait for it.
God.
Yeah.
All right, and that is the orc's turn. Gorn, you're up with Zix on deck, and then the rest of the
Yeah.
cultists.
Let's see, let's stay on the edge of the darkness here.
Yes, you are currently obscured by the shadows, so anyone attacking you from range would be at disadvantage. But you do not have
Anyone who can't see you, you get advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because none of them met my none of them met my stealth check.
Yep.
From before.
But you did attack, which gave your position away. But because you're in,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
but because
And
you're in the
you move.
darkness, that's why you're getting advantage.
Ah. So, from where I'm at, I think I've got a clean shot on Eris, right?
Yeah. Yep. Sounds like.
And
a
you
roll.
said I have advantage on the attack.
Yep. Yeah, because you're in the darkness and they don't have dark vision. With a
Thank goodness for that advantage.
yeah, total of 16. Are you happy
Yeah.
with that attack?
Yeah.
All right, roll damage because that's a hit. And we have a total of 5 on the die, plus 4 because of your Eldritch Blast invocations, for a total of 9 points of damage to Eris.
You can't put that into the campfire, can you?
And Eris has
No,
been
no, it doesn't have any AoE to it.
And Eris has been defeated, and as she drops to the ground, you hear her clutching and screaming. She's like, "Why, Cargus? Why?" Ah! And she just falls to the ground and starts to dissolve almost immediately, as if time had sped up for her. And she's just immediately decaying of just like flies and bugs and maggots just are just out of nowhere swarming her body and devouring what's left of her.
Yes, how you know she was another cog in the machine.
All right, Gordon. Are you moving or are you good there?
Your leader is down. Your leader is dead. Stand down.
Give me an intimidation check due to that. Okay. 18. I will try to remember that. Gorn has taken his turn. Zix, you are up.
I mean, they aren't giving up yet, and I have such a juicy hit right in front of me. So, oh, by the way, I saw that it was using strength to roll attack, so I'm just gonna roll the dice on the roller and then with the rolls that we agreed on.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna roll the basic attack at the orc with advantage because of flanking.
Okay.
Hello?
Yep. That's a 16 for a total of 22 on the attack roll.
And then that's 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. And the orc
With
has taken a mighty hit from your mechanical companion there.
But I think I had an option to also use weapon properties, so bash, I just
Oh, yeah.
forgot what it does.
Bash for bludgeoning, hamstring for slashing, and disarm for piercing.
Yeah, just as agreed. Yeah, I'm just good. For now, it's just bludgeoning, but if we are okay, we can change that later.
Yeah.
And you can also change that later if you use this.
I think.
Just agree with your DM.
Yep. I think I'm not sure if I'm confusing the two systems, if it works off of a critical hit or if you can use the alternate. I think with Tales of the Valiant and those extra attacks, they have to be done in place of attacking, so you could do the bash feature rather than making like an actual attack in
Okay.
Tales of the Valiant.
I tried.
Okay. Well, in any event, the orc has been hit by your mechanical companion for 8 points of bludgeoning damage. Anything else? You staying there or are you good?
I don't see the point in not staying here.
Okay.
So I'm reading up. So even if it's on the next time we use this.
Yeah. Alright, so with that, up next is Jurek, and due to Gorn's very, very ominous message there, he's going to take an insight roll, and I'm going to make this a private roll. Normal. And with that roll there, Jurek panics and starts to run off into the forest, using both his action and his his movement to escape battle, and he is effectively out of combat.
And you're right. It was either this damage or the bonus option.
Yep. Okay. So Jurek has fled the battle, and next we have Daffyd, who is also going to make a roll to see if he sticks around. And he does the same as well. He's like, forget this! I was only in it for the money! And just rushes off. You may be asking, what money? And he runs off into the woods to disappear as well. And that is the end of round 3 as we come to the top with Terex, followed by the Kobold and Orc.
All right, I am going to drop my bow and draw my short sword.
Okay.
You have advantage.
And I'm going to take a swing at the orc.
Go for it. Oh, yeah. Base 19, total of 25. That is indeed a hit. And that will be a total of 8 points of damage to our
No,
orc.
it'll be more.
Oh, right. Because you
Relentless pursuit.
Oh, yes. Forgot about that.
And you know what? Just for the hell of it, Hunter's Mark.
Oh.
Mystic Mark, I mean.
I mean, it's basically the
Oh,
same
never mind.
thing.
I have no uses left. Never mind.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you can see the marker on the orc or not, but in the upper left corner, he does have a bloodied condition modifier. So he's not looking so hot. But he's still just in that orc fashion, just like grunting and growling at you as he tries to swing at you, even though he's missed a couple times. And that's it for Terex's turn?
Yeah, that'll be it for me.
Okay. Up next is the Kobold. The Kobold. Let's see here. What
The
is-
traitor.
Yes, the traitor. And the traitor is going to go ahead and move off to the side here. He should also have dark vision because he's a kobold. There we go. Dark vision.
That
And
definitely puts him within range of being able to see me now.
yes, this is true. Yep, he can totally see you and turns and sees you as well. He goes, all of you are here. Confound it all. And goes in and targets you. No, he's going to continue to target one of, probably Zix, because he's got like this weird internal conflict and battle with Zix at the moment. So, let's see here. I got Zix targeted, so he's going to go ahead and attack once again with the sling. And let's see here. So this is going to be an advantage because of pack tactics. And that is going to be a miss with a 10.
Thank goodness you told us it was a miss because you privately rolled it.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So he
For all we know, it could have been another not 20.
It could have been, but it wasn't. And just kind of like kicks the ground in annoyance and moves back a little bit. All right. And that is Ezen's turn. Up next is the orc, who is frustrated and angry and just going to continue the assault against Terex. For whatever reason, he's really got it out for you.
No, not the guy that basically backstabs him. The guy in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Because orc.
Oh, it did get higher, but it still missed.
We're getting there.
Is this guy using Great Weapon Master or something?
No, unfortunately not. With a total of a 13, that is going to be another miss against Terex. All right, and that will be the orc's turn. And then we have Gorn and Zix on deck to end round 3.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a natural 20 for a total of 26 to hit Ezend.
Traitorous little bastard.
He got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, he really did with 15 points of total damage on those 2d10 plus 4. That is enough to bloody Ezend as he starts to panic and squeal in anger. All right, Gorn, finishing up your movement, or is that it?
Yeah, I'm good there.
Okay. Zix, you are up with Terex on deck.
I mean, if it ain't broke,
Yep. Oh, yes. And with an base 18 and total 24, that is a hit on the orc. For
come on.
base damage. But that is enough to defeat the orc. And he just cries out, he's like, "For the glory!" and just dies. Again, he too, his body just suddenly dissolves and begins to rot in pestilence almost immediately as flies and maggots and bugs just swarm the body right away, devouring it in moments.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw up to this guy, shield in one hand, the red freaking glowing sword in the other.
All right.
Now is the time to give up.
And Terex, you are on deck for the top of round 4.
I'm gonna pick up my bow and make my way over to Izend.
Okay,
Then I'm gonna finish him off with a sword strike.
go for it. Short sword.
Sword of shorts.
Okay, we have a total of 11 on that attack. Do you want to use any of your...
Do you have the
Oh.
advantage from pack tactics? As 6
No.
is
Oh,
right
I
there?
should. No, we got rid of.
Yeah,
lost
we
it.
got rid of it.
Ah,
It's no longer. It's no longer.
No, that's just gonna be a miss.
spotted.
I'll take a luck point.
All right, go ahead and take
Oh no, I
yourself...
don't get luck points off a hit.
Yeah, you get a luck point for this. You missed the attack.
Just
Oh, I
tie
thought
up a
it was
kobold. Tie. Generate luck points off of him.
You actually do have to miss, though, in order to generate the luck points.
I
Well,
mean,
I haven't
we can
gotten a
always
lot
turn lethal.
Okay, and with
You
that,
won't die.
Ezend, with his just seething hatred for you, Zix, he drops his parts-filled sling and pulls out his Tinkerer's hammer and goes in to attack you. Just absolutely irate and angry towards you. That is going to be a total of 13 to attack. And
Nope.
Fortunately, he does indeed miss. All right, and that is Ezend's turn as he just snarls and glares at you. He kind of repositions to be in front of you and, is just jealous, and you can just see the hatred in his eyes towards you, almost clouding his judgment. All right, Gorn, you are up.
Six is just smiling at this. He knows the bastard's too cocky for his own good.
All right, we have a 14 to hit. Are you good with
I'll
that?
keep it.
You're going to keep that? All right.
Yeah.
That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Ooh, and we have a total of 11 points of damage on that attack. And that is enough to defeat Ezend. And combat comes to an end.
After the fight, is there anything left of note?
Surprisingly enough, also Ezend's body, because he is a cultist, basically, of who you heard Eris say, Korgeth of some form. Those of you who want to roll about Korgeth can go ahead and give me either like a history check or a religion check. I will get this music back into order here.
I mean, Six is probably not really that interested in this. I will not roll.
Okay. All right, so for the history, we have Terex with a 19 and Gorn with a 15. Let me see here. What information can I give you? So yes, from what you remember and heard, especially you, Gorn, probably seeing these kind of researches into your in your book and whatnot, and Terex, you've heard somewhere down the line of this Korgeth, some kind of an old god, possibly, of just pestilence and disease. It's very strange to see this, but now that you have this idea of what's been going on here, you have the you start to make the connections that Eris here probably was spearheading this attack on the town and spreading this disease through the water, and now that the water's been purified, they were probably going to wait for you all to leave or kill you in your sleep and try to rid you so that they could destroy this town. For what ends, you have no real, you're not really sure, but this demon lord Korgeth The devouring worm, as they are known, is who was behind this scheme here. With that, I'm going to take a moment because I need to send Gorn something real quick.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I
war
get
of stuff. War of
I get
stuff.
whispers.
Hey,
Okay,
talking to me.
I sent him a test message real quick just to see if it would work.
Yeah, I see it.
I didn't see any.
Well, I guess weren't supposed to.
What would the rest of you like to do while I'm writing this message out?
What stuff do they have on themselves?
Funny enough, since you're right there, Zix, and you inspect Ezin's body, the hammer that Ezin attacked you with is a special hammer. It has an ability, actually, when you use it and hit a construct with it, that it helps heal your any friendly constructs for 1d6 points of damage. But if it hits non-constructs, it will do damage like normal.
That's a really specific magic item.
It very much so is.
Would have been funny if
Like somehow it
Desmond
was
there
made
hit
for
the
me.
drag.
Zix is gonna point out that. Why did I have this? And why is it here? It was like it was made for me. Just confused at this point. Anything.
Now that you've had time to think, especially Terex and Zix, now that you are looking at Ezind, you can remember back to your time at the caves and seeing Ezind kind of making his own little tinkerer's shop and always having like maybe some kind of scribbles and rolled up notes that were crushed and ruined, and just always, scoffing at Zix whenever Zix came by, seemingly as if Ezind was trying to be the mechanist that Zix is. There was some kind of a jealousy here or a competition that Zix just was not aware of. And probably what you have here is that this hammer was probably one of Ezind's first creations that was that they came up with to help with working on constructs. And surprisingly enough, it would have the reverse effect that a hammer normally has, that it was healing constructs, even little tiny ones, rather than doing damage to it.
Well, mine now.
Yes, so I'll get you the information on that a little later on, but go ahead and mark that in your notes for now, Zix. Gordon, Terex, what are you guys doing?
I'm
Or
gonna head
search
over to Eris's bodies and search it.
Okay. Give me
How do I send a whisper, by the way?
You would do /W and then the person's name. So for instance, you could say GM, I think. Try doing a test whisper to me to see if it works. You could probably do /W space GM. That might work.
Okay, yep, that seemed to work.
I'm just gonna use it as light hammer. Is it 1d6 plus what?
It's just a 1d6, I believe. I'll have to double check the information. If you actually, if you
Okay,
go
how do I do that?
Yeah, I just wanted to add it in the description.
above the chat box there, Lorndar, or for Gorn, you'll see a little drop down that says public role, private, blind, self role. Those are how you can change roles and whatnot to be question marks.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, Zix, what did you say?
Yeah, I was just checking if it's just 1d6 healing to the construct or something more.
Yeah, it's just 1d6 healing to the constructs. But like I said, I'll have more information for it.
Okay.
That work?
Yes.
Worked, right?
Yeah. Right now I just use this and
Yep.
just added it to my character sheet as Mechanist's hammer. I guess that was the only thing he had on himself. That was noteworthy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Beyond that, our kobold friend here also had leather armor and this sling but the sling was nothing special. It was just a bunch of random parts that he was carrying on him to attack you with.
Cool.
As
What
for
did the orc have?
the orc, just has orc stuff, you know, great axe, a couple javelins, and hide armor. Nothing too special on there, unfortunately. As for Eris, let me see here. I gotta get the journal out again. She has a, you know, as you inspect her over, Gorn, you'll see that, you know, she has serpentine dreadlocks and that were basically dissolving away. And she wore a tool-filled leather smock over top a worn but well-made clothing, and she is carrying two handled sacks of clacking clay pots. If you inspect the clay pots, you'll find that they're filled with worms, leeches, and spores. So you are pretty certain as you look into this pot here with your passive insight that this is probably the origin of the disease in these clay pots here that you're inspecting.
I'd like to move over. I'd like to stoke the fire back up,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna dump the contents of the pots into the fire.
Okay. And sure enough, you do that, and as you dump the contents of the pot into the fire, a sudden rush of just demonic energy flashes up through the fire, and you hear like what almost sounds like ghosts or screams and souls of just like as the flames burn away, and a sudden visage of potentially Korgeth himself burns quickly through the fires here. Terex and Gorn, both of you give me wisdom saving throws, please.
Zeke just looking at the orc says,
Shish, can you be a bit less dramatic?
Okay, Gorn, you pass. You're perfectly fine. Terex, this chills you to the bone. It doesn't necessarily give you any kind of game mechanics, but you do have
Gives
somewhat...
me a luck point.
It does give you a luck point, yes. Go ahead and mark yourself for the luck point.
so it does give you a game mechanic.
You know what? Zix, roll at advantage because you're so far away from the fire.
Oh, I was gonna just play it as Zeke didn't notice it.
True. I mean, you were looking at the orc's body here, but Terex, this is more of like a
So wisdom save?
yeah at advantage. It's not necessarily something that's going to impact you game wise, but it is going to hinder you to an effect of kind of giving you like a mental scar. That brief flash of a demon coming through the fires just kind of scars your sanity a little bit.
What is this, Arkham Horror?
Maybe.
No. Curse of Barovia.
Yeah, Barovia too. Zix, yes, you're perfectly fine as you are investigating the orc's body. As
Zeke didn't, as I said, he didn't even notice.
Yep, exactly. So, shall we just do this? Wrap this up in a nice tidy bow here, or do you want to RP anything out as you finish up this arc here for the curse of the skull blooms and whatnot?
Well, I guess after everything, Zeke would try to
Oh,
go to the big cultist, but she dead, and God probably checked her, so she has nothing of value left.
No, anything that's left over, you see studded leather armor and a sacrificial dagger. Beyond that, she didn't have anything else.
Is the dagger like... what was that? Never mind. Is dagger like golden or something? Gem encrusted?
Nope, nothing special, nothing like that.
Alright. Let's raid that house.
Walking inside the house, you see basically a cot and some instruments for gardening. There's some vials and whatnot. You gather that it looks like there was a bit of a workstation here to help create the disease that was creating these skull blooms. Give me an investigation check.
You know what? Before I do that, I tap my fake eye and scan the area with detect magic from my eye.
Okay. Doing that, you don't see anything in here that would be considered magical.
Okay. Just
But-
making sure.
Yep. Yeah, no, nothing magical, but go ahead and give me an investigation check as you look over Eris's
I guess-
workbench.
I just wasted like 6 seconds of this investigation, you say. No one is trying to help me? I guess I can stand on my ally if I
I
want
tried
to
saying
get.
several times that I wanted to check the hut, but I kept getting talked over.
Oh,
Sorry, Terex.
so I guess you can help me. I have +6.
Yeah, I can help you.
Why roll at advantage? Good fucking thing. You know what? I'm using a shard.
Okay.
So that's 22 in total.
All right. So between the
Yeah.
two of you, Terex and Zix, you do feel as though there are ingredients still here that could recreate the disease and start this skull bloom outbreak once again.
Make like- I say we make like Trogdor and burn some thatch-proof cottages.
We can use this. It's a powerful weapon.
Uh-oh. Sounds like we have a little division between the two. One wants to keep it?
I say we burn it.
Fine. Dix is kind of annoyed at this, but gives in. Would rather have allies he can control.
We're gonna come back out to Gorn. Hey Gorn, we're gonna burn this hut down. You wanna join us?
It's a good idea. I would want nothing to do with anything in or about this thing.
I
Well,
think I have a
torches
torch
on
here
me, so I'm
somewhere.
going-
Go ahead, Terex.
I have torches on me, so I'm gonna start lighting them and just tossing them into the hut.
All right, Zix.
If I do that, we can just use
Yeah, I
the
just said that I
from the
have some
campfire.
torches on myself as well, so I
Okay.
guess each one of us can throw in a torch.
Sorry about that, Gordon. Gordon, go ahead, finish your thought.
I was just gonna say we could just use what's in the campfire. No
true.
point in wasting a torch.
Yep. There are dead trees around too. You could light some of those
Yeah.
up.
The whole forest to burn.
And that's not our problem.
Okay. So,
Yeah, so yeah.
that looks silly. I'm like, oh, I'll just recreate
Right,
the campfire. But yes, I was hoping to find
Nope.
like a fire item, but I don't have anything quick enough for that. So yes, between the three of you, you do set this, cabin on fire and destroy the contents within. All right. So to wrap this up, you guys make your way back after you are, completely happy with the way that the hut's been destroyed and any evidence of this skull bloom plague and the components to recreate it have been destroyed. You make your way back to Hulgig village. You meet up with Merwick, who is still out looking for Daffod and anyone else that may have disappeared.
They'll look for them.
And he,
David and Jurek are cultists.
oh dear. Well, hopefully you've dealt with them. If they try to make their way back here, we will definitely be on the lookout and sure to take care of them when they show up. Thank you for letting me know, and I'm sorry for any trouble that this may have caused you.
I found some cool stuff along the way. Flexing his hammer,
And
wearing it around.
with that, I suppose you guys can probably rest up in the town and make your way out back to your caves in the following morning, or do whatever you want to do next.
But I guess
How long will that trip take us?
Oh,
I say about 2 weeks.
it's about 2 weeks. Yes, and we will certainly call it here. Everyone, thank you guys for joining me tonight for this basically the end of this arc for the Sporeborn or Plague Skullblooms or whatever it was
Skullbloom,
called.
yeah.
But yes, this arc is officially over as we have finished the story here. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Tales of the Valiant with the Everside Questers Bravo team. If you like what you've seen, go ahead and drop a like, throw a comment in the comment section, and subscribe to see more crazy antics and other adventures for the group here. If you want to see more campaign antics and silliness from my group and our campaigns in any TTRPG that we offer here on the channel, go ahead and click on one of these links here and enjoy yourselves. Until then, we'll see you next time.